You were my first human crush. Yeah.
Picture this. You're face to face with the person you've idolized your entire life. Your brain short circuits. You forget how to speak. You might even run away. And if you're a celebrity, the whole world's watching it happen. That's what happens when celebrities meet their childhood idols.
And the Oscar goes to Emma Stone, La La Land.
February 2017, Emma Stone just won Best Actress for La La Land. Career-defining moment, right? Sure. But when asked about her favorite memory from that night, her answer wasn't about the speech or the statue. It was 2 words. Leonardo DiCaprio. He was the one handing her the Oscar. And as she's walking up to the stage, all she can think is, that's Leo. That's my Leo.
What was really nuts in my experience was that it was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, man. You can't beat Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who is Jack from Titanic.
She'd seen Titanic 7.5 times in theaters. She had a signed photo of him in her bedroom at 12 years old. This wasn't just winning an Oscar, this was walking toward her teenage dream.
And then it was just like walking up there and just like getting to be near him was really exciting.
Even now, she admits she still gets a little weird around him. Like, hey, how's it going? Awkward. Because in her head, he's still Jack Dawson. Always will be. And honestly, that's the most relatable thing ever. You can take the girl out of the Titanic obsession, but you can't take the Titanic obsession out of the girl. But Emma's not the only one who turns into a total fan when face to face with their crush. Because sometimes you can conquer kingdoms on screen and still completely lose it when that person walks into the room.
Now, Emilia Clarke, did you get to chat with everyone backstage?
Yeah, kind of.
Did you get to talk to him?
Yeah, kind of, maybe. Not really.
Emilia Clarke, mother of dragons, literally commands armies on Game of Thrones. But put her next to Matt LeBlanc on the Graham Norton show, and she turns into an absolute puddle. She's blushing, waving her hands in front of her face, trying to hold it together.
Actually blushing. Yeah, I just think you're wicked.
She's absolutely losing it, and Matt sweetly puts his arm around her, and you can see she's gone. Then Graham drops the question, does Matt even watch Game of Thrones? Matt admits he fell off after season 1 and has no idea what's happening now, and Emilia was totally unbothered. He could insult her dragons to her face, and she wouldn't care.
Emilia Clarke loves Matt LeBlanc!
Hi. Hi.
But here's where it gets good. She asks him to do the line. You know the one. Matt locks eyes with her and goes, how you doing?
Well, since I, haven't been up to speed on the show, I will say,
thank you.
Yeah, how you doing?
She melts. Kate Beckinsale is sitting next to them, and she's also melting, because when Joey Tribbiani is your childhood crush, nothing else matters. And speaking of childhood crushes that never really fade, sometimes they evolve into something even better, because when your idol becomes a real-life source of inspiration, that's a whole different kind of magic.
I don't know if you know this, but my first screen name was Jim Carrey Fan 42. So I was definitely very young.
March 2024, Ariana Grande is about to drop Eternal Sunshine, an album inspired by Jim Carrey's iconic film. And during her Apple Music interview, she casually drops this, her first ever screen name. Yes, that's the level of obsession we're talking about here. She's been obsessed since she was a kid, has a Truman Show quote tattooed on her shoulder, the whole thing. So when she finally got to work with him on his show Kidding in 2020, she was terrified. You know that fear when you're about to meet your idol and you're like, please don't ruin this for me?
Thrilling. He's even better. You know how sometimes you get nervous to meet your people because you never know how they're going to be and it's very scary? He couldn't be better. I love him so much more after meeting him and working with him on Kidding.
And you can hear it in her voice, that relief and that joy when someone you've idolized your whole life turns out to be exactly who you hoped they'd be. The guy who made her fall in love with acting as a kid ended up being exactly who she hoped he'd be. Sometimes your childhood heroes don't let you down. Sometimes they show up, see your vision, and make it even better. But what happens when your musical crush doesn't just meet you? He shows up when you least expect it, because sometimes the best celebrity moments aren't planned. They're pure, unfiltered shock caught on camera.
telling me the last time you were here, I forgot, you told me your favorite musical, your musical crush, somebody in the business.
Oh, Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake is your favorite? Really?
Yeah.
Well, I said I'd bring him next time you're here.
2008, 19-year-old Taylor Swift is on Ellen, fresh off her Joe Jonas breakup, venting about boys being jerks. She's mentioned before that Justin Timberlake is her massive celebrity crush. And Ellen, being Ellen, decides to do what Ellen does best. Justin walks out. Mid-interview, Taylor's face? Pure disbelief. She's sitting there with her best friend Abigail, and Justin Timberlake is suddenly giving them relationship advice. Ellen asks him, "Why are men such jerks, Justin?" And he just laughs it off, while Taylor's just staring, barely breathing.
You're just smarter than us.
Good answer, Justin.
And,
good answer.
See, I've accepted that. I've accepted that. I'm much more comfortable in my stupidity.
But here's the thing, this wasn't just a cute talk show moment, this was the beginning of an actual friendship. 7 years later, Taylor brought him out on stage during her 1989 tour. He still shows up to honor her at award shows, and the girl who could barely speak when he walked out became real friends with her childhood idol. Of course, Taylor's had her share of idol meetings, but not all of them go as smoothly as you'd hope, because sometimes you meet someone you admire at the absolute worst possible moment, like, say, mid-audition in full costume.
But they were like, you know, do you want to come to London for one last screen test and you'll get to screen test with Eddie Redmayne? I'm like, this seems like an experience I want to have in my life. You're like one of my favorite actors. You're so ridiculously talented.
Taylor Swift once auditioned for Les Miserables opposite Eddie Redmayne, and by her own admission, it was a nightmare. She's up for the role of Eponine, which she knew she wasn't getting, but she was looking forward to the chance of meeting one of her favorite actors, so she flies to London. They get her into full costume, brown teeth, dark circles under her eyes, the whole near-death look, and then they bring Eddie in.
They were like, we're actually gonna paint your teeth brown for this. And I'm like, so you're gonna do that after I meet Eddie Redmayne, right? That's not something you do before. I get to meet people and then you do the brown teeth. They're like, no, it's
Meanwhile, Eddie had just crushed some garlic dough balls at Pizza Express. So there they are. Taylor looking like she's seconds from collapsing. Eddie reeking of garlic, both lying on the floor singing love songs into each other's faces. Eddie's in a tracksuit, Taylor's fully dressed as Eponine.
And they had us on the floor like singing sweet nothings into each other. And all I knew is I just had garlic bread.
And I had brown teeth.
Eddie's crying during the scene, and Taylor thinks it's because of how she looks. Nope, just mutual mortification. She didn't get the role, but honestly, this story's way better than any movie could have been. And if you think Taylor's audition was awkward, wait until you see what happens when you meet your crush and completely forget how to function. Because some celebrity moments are so pure, so unfiltered, they live on the internet forever.
Okay. Hello. Oh my gosh.
Hey! Hey! Hey, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
2011, Selena Gomez thinks she's about to meet some fans backstage. Instead, her team ambushes her with Shia LaBeouf, her longtime crush. And the second she sees him, she bolts. Shia actually has to chase her down the hallway.
Thanks for being so sweet to me. Really sweet to me.
Thank you. I admire
It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah. You having fun?
I need to get a picture of you guys together.
Cool, yeah.
Definitely not
Take a picture with me.
Yes.
All right.
They snap a couple of photos together, and then she shuffles away to find her mom and team, still feeling overwhelmed.
You guys suck. You used my fans as bait. Oh my gosh, he's so handsome.
But here's the thing, Shia's publicist later said he loved it and found it genuine and refreshing. And Selena posted the whole thing on YouTube with the caption, "Best day ever." Because sometimes you meet your crush and your brain just says, nope, we're leaving. And that's the most relatable celebrity moment ever. But Selena's not alone in the meet your crush and malfunction club, because even the most confident, fearless performers can turn into giggling messes when the right person walks into the room.
Do you know Johnny himself, or?
I've met him once.
You met him once?
Yeah.
Was that tonight, or?
No,
No.
I dodged that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Why? Did something bad happen?
I can't talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have a crush on him.
Pink is known as a fearless performer, one who does death-defying aerial stunts at every show. But put her in front of Johnny Depp and the result is total meltdown. She's on Jimmy Kimmel Live telling him how she just dodged Johnny backstage because she couldn't handle another awkward encounter. The first time they met was when her husband had forced her to say hi in a music store. She hid behind records until she worked up the nerve, tried to tell him about her song for Alice Through the Looking Glass, and completely bombed it. Then Kimmel brings Johnny out. Pink tries to hide behind her collar, jumps up for a hug, collapses back into her chair, and just goes red.
Hers was what?
Carrying.
Carrying.
Yeah, right, okay. All right, well, weapon, I got it. Oh, I know what you mean, okay. No, I think he'd be all right. You think he would, no, he wouldn't. Would he shoot Johnny?
He'd shoot me.
Johnny, run!
Pink avoids all eye contact until he leaves, and Jimmy looks at her and says, "You just turned the color of your hair." And honestly, when even Pink loses all composure, you know the crush is real.
Go away.
You literally...
That was awful, you guys. This sucks. I hate you.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Fine.
And just when you think these moments can't get any sweeter, sometimes all it takes is the right host, the right timing, and the right surprise. Because when you've been crushing on someone for years and they suddenly appear out of nowhere, pure magic.
I don't have Dwayne Johnson here tonight, but I do have someone called The Rock.
2023 Grammys. Adele's sitting at her table, minding her business, when Trevor Noah walks over with a special guest. She looks up, and it's The Rock, her longtime crush.
Someone I've never met that I think I would actually cry. Who? Is The Rock, but I know he goes by Dwayne Johnson now.
No, wait,
I was the biggest wrestling fan when I was younger.
That night, Adele had no idea he was coming. They planned it perfectly, kept it so under wraps that her reaction was completely genuine. Pure shock, pure joy. They embrace, she's glowing, and The Rock later said it was one of the most special surprises he's ever been part of. But here's where it gets even better. Later that night, The Rock is presenting an award. He opens the envelope for Best Pop Solo Performance, and it says, Adele.
And the Grammy goes to, get up here, best friend, Adele.
He later called it the universe meeting their friendship halfway. And honestly, when The Rock calls you his best friend after one surprise meeting, you've officially won at life. But The Rock's not always the one doing the surprising, because back in the day, there was one moment where he was the one left completely speechless, and it only took one line to do it. 2007 Teen Choice Awards. Megan Fox and The Rock are presenting together, and everything's going smoothly until Megan decides to go off script.
Time to rock your world are Megan Fox and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
She just drops it on live TV, and The Rock, the guy who never breaks, completely loses it. He laughs, tries to recover, but you can see it. She got him.
You know, I would be a strapping panther or a rugged mountain lion, you know?
Well, that's too bad because I like big, strong guys who can be as gentle as a pussycat.
This is prime Megan Fox era. Peak confidence, zero hesitation, perfect timing. And The Rock, for once, he's not the one in control of the moment. She is. The audience goes wild, the chemistry's undeniable, and it becomes one of those award show moments people still bring up years later. But what happens when your childhood obsession isn't just a crush? It's everything? When the posters on your wall aren't just decoration, they're basically a lifestyle? Because for some fans turned stars, meeting their idol isn't just a moment. It's the full circle they've been waiting for their entire life.
First,
Celebrity crush.
oh, the Biebs. The Biebs.
I heard about that too.
The Biebers.
Billie Eilish's obsession with Justin Bieber was so intense that her parents almost sent her to therapy, and there's no exaggeration here. Her mom said they genuinely considered it. At 12, 13, 14, she'd be in the car listening to As Long As You Love Me and just sobbing every single day. Her mom's driving her to dance class like, "Is my daughter okay?" Billie later clarified she was just an emotional teenager. But still, the Bieber love was real. She had posters of him everywhere. DMs she sent to him in 2014 that she probably wishes she could delete. Then 2019, Coachella. Justin walks up and gives her a hug. The girl who used to cry because he didn't know she existed is now standing there hugging him as he posts about her on Instagram saying, "Long and bright future ahead for you." And the best part? He'd already slid into her DMs with a screenshot of one of her messages from 5 years earlier. Full Circle doesn't even cover it. Sometimes your idols really do become your friends. And sometimes you don't even need childhood nostalgia for a crush to hit hard. Sometimes it's just about meeting someone who makes your brain go completely blank, no matter how famous you are.
Kristen, I understand, is this true? You're a big fan of Jason Momoa. Big fan of the Momoa. Who isn't?
I've played it really cool backstage, so let's not...
2022, The Late Late Show with James Corden. Kristen Bell is sitting next to Jason Momoa, trying her absolute hardest to act normal. Spoiler, it's not working. James reveals that Kristen's a massive Game of Thrones fan, specifically a Khal Drogo fan, and she immediately confirms it, then proceeds to tell Jason how she and her husband dressed as Khaleesi and Khal Drogo for Halloween, complete with Etsy tattoos.
She was, had no idea that you were a huge fan. That's
Thanks.
beautiful. That's an honor.
She's fangirling hard, but making it charming. You can see her nerves, but she's owning it. Jason thanks her, clearly flattered, and the whole thing becomes this adorable, awkward, but not really moment. Because sometimes playing it cool means admitting you're absolutely not playing it cool, and honestly, that's way better anyway. But if you think that was adorable, wait until you hear about the younger generation of stars meeting their crushes. Because when you're still a teenager and you come face to face with your dream celebrity, all bets are off.
Anyone you're really hoping to bump into on the carpet tonight?
Zendaya's here. She's so pretty. Oh, I love her.
Noah Schnapp has never been shy about his Zendaya obsession. He's been openly gushing about her in interviews since forever, calling her his ultimate crush without hesitation.
Who is Noah Schnapp?
Celebrity crush. I have a couple. I like Zendaya. She was just here, actually. And now I'm standing in her presence.
So when he finally saw her in person at the 2019 People's Choice Awards, game over. He spots her across the room and everything else just stops mattering, including the fact that he's mid-conversation with Jimmy Fallon at that time. He later goes on The Tonight Show and breaks down the entire moment.
You came over to me, but you were looking at Zendaya, and I was like, "No, what's up, buddy? How are you, man?" And you're like, good, yeah, everything's good. And I go, "Oh yeah, Zendaya."
No, you know I love you, but I love Zendaya.
Noah doesn't even apologize. Just teenage honesty at its finest. When your crush walks by, even Jimmy Fallon becomes background noise.
Oh, well, I mean, who's not obsessed with Zendaya?
No, I love her.
I know you
She's-
are.
I really am. I am.
I know you guys are. I mean, yeah, I don't wanna.
And speaking of crushes getting called out on live TV, sometimes the host doesn't just reveal your secret. They expose it right in front of the person, and there's absolutely nowhere to hide. Ollie Murs walks onto the Graham Norton show, sitting next to Jude Law, Dame Judi Dench, and Mila Kunis. He's probably thinking he's safe. He's not.
I know that sometimes fans tweet you questions.
All the time, yeah, cool.
Yeah, nice. And I believe someone tweeted you this question. If you could have kids with any celeb, who would you have them with?
Gra. Ham then looks at Mila and casually drops, "Ollie said you're the Hollywood star he'd most like to have children with." Ollie goes bright red, but tries to recover.
You embarrass me. Sorry. I obviously never thought in my wildest dreams I'd actually meet her, so... Here I am now.
This is so flattering.
sorry.
He's laughing, she's laughing, but you can tell he wants to disappear into the couch. But this is just peak Graham Norton chaos. Taking someone's private confession and turning it into a public moment of beautiful, hilarious awkwardness. And we're here for it. But sometimes your crush doesn't just show up on a talk show, they show up at your talk show with flowers. Because when your celebrity crush has known about your feelings for over a decade, things can get wonderfully, beautifully full circle. Keke Palmer has been obsessed with Michael Ealy since she was 9 years old. They worked together on Barbershop 2, and she's been publicly crushing on him ever since. Not subtle about it either. She's told everyone, everywhere, for years.
If you follow me on Twitter, you definitely know my number one crush is Michael. Yo. Honestly, Michael Ealy is so fine. I have to just take a nap on him sometimes.
So when her talk show Just Keke premieres in 2014, guess who shows up? Michael Ealy with roses. On her show, Keke loses it. This wasn't just a celebrity crush anymore. This was the guy she'd been gushing about for over a decade, who walked onto her set and made her dreams come true. And the best part, he seems to have always known. And then there are the crushes that turn into something even sweeter, because when your idol not only meets you, but keeps showing up for you, that's when fangirl dreams become a genuine connection. 2016 Rio Olympics. Simone Biles is 19, dominating gymnastics, and very publicly obsessed with Zac Efron. Tells Hoda Kotb on live TV that they need him at the team final. Zac Efron, we need you to come watch. Days later, after Simone wins her 4th gold medal, she's doing an interview on Today, and Zac walks out and she's in disbelief.
Oh, wait. Is that the final ride?
He gives her a hug, they take photos, and it becomes one of the most wholesome Olympic moments ever. But here's what makes it even better. Zac didn't just disappear after that. 8 years later, at the 2024 Paris Olympics, he's still celebrating her wins. Posts to his Instagram story with a goat emoji, a gold medal, and a heart. He's still rooting for her, from fangirl moment to real friendship. Sometimes your crush becomes someone who genuinely supports you, cheers for you, and shows up even years later. But let's be real, not every celebrity crush moment ends in hugs and friendship. Sometimes you go in for that dream meeting and it goes, well, let's just say not everyone's as warm as Zac Efron. 2017, Kesha spots Jerry Seinfeld at a charity event. This is huge for her as she used to watch Seinfeld DVDs on tour buses, pop them in during turbulent flights for comfort. So basically she thinks he's her peace, her safety blanket. So she walks up to him super excited, but Jerry wasn't sharing the
when you're tired, because people are tired most of the time.
I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Kesha finally backs away with a sad "oh" and disappears. Jerry turns to the camera and simply says that he doesn't know who that was. Kesha later called it the most depressing and hilarious, but also so sad moment of her life. And honestly, you can see that from the look on her face when it all happened. She went in with pure admiration and got shut down publicly on camera. To be fair, Jerry said he just doesn't hug strangers. But still, when your comfort show rejects you in real life, that stings. And that tells us that not every celebrity crush moment ends with roses and Instagram posts. Sometimes it just ends with no thanks. But at least Kesha got to try. Sometimes the awkward moment happens when you find out your crush is off the market right before you're about to tell them how you feel. Jennifer Lawrence had a plan. She was hosting SNL, Seth Meyers was still on the show, and she had a full-blown crush on him. She was waiting for him to make a move.
No, I had a really big crush on you.
Real? Okay.
Yes. And so I had this whole plan, like all week. I was like, he's gonna ask me out.
Then she decided, you know what? I'm just gonna ask him out myself. You know, bold, confident, very Jennifer Lawrence. Except someone from the costume department pulled her aside and dropped the news.
And she was like, honey, he's engaged. I was like, cool, good talk.
Years later, she's sitting on Late Night with Seth Meyers, telling him all of this to his face on his own show. Seth's laughing, slightly uncomfortable, and Jennifer's just owning it. No shame, no filter.
But it was so long ago that now I feel like I can tell you.
Yeah, and it's safe because it worked out. I married that lady.
Because you're married.
Yeah, so that
now
worked out.
It's
yeah.
safe. You're locked away.
So cheers to how everything worked out.
Yeah.
And because she's Jennifer Lawrence, she doesn't stop there. She also admits she's been texting Amy Schumer about having inappropriate thoughts about Larry David. And Seth just sits there, processing.
And I wrote to her because I was randomly watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I said, I have so many sexual and boyfriend marriage feelings for Larry David. I feel like I'm gonna be sick.
I'm feeling a little bit less awesome about the crush.
Sometimes your crush doesn't work out because of timing, and sometimes you just tell them about it on live TV anyway. And Jennifer's not the only one who sat across from a late night host and casually revealed, yeah, I used to have a thing for you. Because sometimes the best confessions happen years later, when it's safe, funny, and just awkward enough to go viral. January 2015, Nicole Kidman is on The Tonight Show, and Jimmy brings up how they'd met before. She looks at him with this knowing smile. Oh, I remember.
I'm walking down the street in New York City.
Yeah.
My friend Rick calls me and says, dude, what are you doing? I go, I'm just walking down the street. He goes, I have Nicole Kidman with me, and she wants to meet you for maybe to be in Bewitched or something like that.
Turns out Jimmy thought it was just a business meeting about Bewitched. Nicole, on the other hand, thought it was a date. Because it was a date.
I just remember I liked you, and he was like, not now. I'm married now. But he was like, oh, well, you can meet. I mean, I don't.
Jimmy freezes like, wait, what's going on? Did I really miss the chance to date Nicole Kidman? And she continues, unfazed.
So Rick, our mutual friend, says, you know, Jimmy wants to meet you, and you can go over to his apartment and da-da-da-da, and I'm single, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Then she paints the picture. He was in a baseball cap, barely said a word, and put on a video game. After an hour and a half, she decided he wasn't interested, left embarrassed, and genuinely thought he might be gay.
Okay, no chemistry. And then I was like, maybe he's gay.
The audience is dying. Jimmy's mortified, unable to believe this really happened. At that point, she's married to Keith Urban. He's hosting a talk show, and now the entire world knows Jimmy Fallon once played video games instead of talking to Nicole Kidman. Sometimes you don't realize you blew it until she tells you on live TV years later. Of course, not every crush confession is about missed opportunities from the past. Sometimes the flirting happens right there in the moment, shameless, confident, and completely impossible to ignore.
We should probably talk about this later, but we've been wanting to meet each other for a really long time. Hi.
Sebastian Stan is sitting next to his teenage crush, Sharon Stone, on The Late Late Show with James Corden, and he decides, right there, live in front of James Corden and everyone, to just go for it.
But, you know, I feel like I've seen you all my life. And here you are in person, and you look so great.
He's flirting, hard, not even trying to hide it. It's like he forgets the cameras are there, forgets James exists, forgets there's an audience. He's locked in, shooting his shot with zero hesitation. And honestly, he's got game. Sharon's not exactly shutting it down either. She's leaning into it, smiling, clearly enjoying the attention. You can see Sebastian light up every time she responds. He's like a kid who just realized his poster crush is actually sitting next to him and she's flirting back.
Darling. I feel weird being here to use that.
The whole thing is charming, hilarious, and completely unfiltered. Sometimes you meet your crush and play it cool. And sometimes you're Sebastian Stan and you just go all in. But if Sebastian shooting his shot was bold, imagine having your crush surprise you on live TV when you least expect it. Because when Ellen DeGeneres is involved, no secret crush is safe. January 2020, Charlize Theron's on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, casually talking about presenting an award to Tom Hanks at the Golden Globes. Then Ellen brings up a game they'd played before, Who Would You Rather?, where Charlize had picked Michael B. Jordan.
You chose him over Brad Pitt?
Did I choose? I think Nicole and Margot.
No, you did.
Oh, did I pick?
You did.
Oh, I thought they were picking.
What would you... Don't you want to tell him anything? He's probably still here.
You are so terrible.
And as expected, Michael walks out and she immediately lights up. You can see the mix of excitement and, oh my god, this is happening all over her face. But here's the twist, they're actually already good friends, so it's not awkward, it's just pure, genuine joy. They hug, they laugh, and the whole thing becomes this sweet moment where your crush is also your friend, which somehow makes it even better. No nerves, no fumbling, just two people who clearly enjoy each other's company.
Really good friends. We all know about his really good friends.
All right, I'm leaving. I'm going.
All right.
Can you take me with you?
No, you stay. See you guys.
Ellen knew exactly what she was doing, and Charlize handled it like a pro. And let's be honest, Michael B. Jordan has that effect on a lot of people, so when another celebrity found herself sitting next to him during an interview, she didn't hold back either. Because when opportunity knocks, you answer.
So, why do you take the big long breaks? Why don't you just keep doing the thing you like doing?
I needed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely needed it. Yeah.
Time flies.
No, it really does. Yeah.
British pop star Cheryl is sitting next to Michael B. Jordan on the Graham Norton Show, and from the second they're on that couch together, she is not holding back. She's leaning in, laughing at everything he says, making eye contact that lasts just a little too long. You can see Graham trying to keep the interview moving, but Cheryl's locked in. Michael's smiling, clearly flattered, and the whole thing becomes this adorable display of I'm sitting next to Michael B. Jordan, and I'm making the most of it.
Time's flying. Time is flying.
Fans went wild over the clip years later, rewatching it and pointing out every little moment where Cheryl's just openly shooting her shot on live TV.
Can I just say, Cheryl, I'm really glad that worked out, that I lent you that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And honestly, good for her. Sometimes you're on a talk show with one of the most attractive men in Hollywood and you just decide to go for it. That's confidence. That's living your best life. And Michael, well, he wasn't complaining. But Michael B. Jordan isn't the only one inspiring celebrity crushes, because sometimes the crush goes back way further to childhood posters, VHS tapes, and that one movie that changed everything. And when you finally get the chance to tell your idol, you don't hold back. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is sitting on the Late Late Show next to Jason Momoa and Julia Roberts, and he just goes for it.
You were my first human crush. Yeah, I was 5 years old, and you were Tinkerbell. You were my Tinkerbell.
The audience awes. Julia's smiling, but clearly stuck on one thing.
I'm just a little bit stuck on the human crush.
Jessica Rabbit was and she's technically.
Well, Jessica Rabbit is a perfect explanation. The crowd loses it. Jason's sitting between them, grinning, probably thinking, this is wild. Meanwhile, backstage, Jason brought his mom to meet Julia because even Aquaman gets starstruck. But it's Yahya's moment that sticks, because admitting your first crush was Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell while sitting next to her is bold, wholesome, and absolutely iconic. Sometimes you just have to shoot your shot, even if it's 27 years late. And Julia herself seemed pretty charmed.